Who do you play in this piece?
I play Maximilian Cizik, and he is the old guard. He is the investment banker to Tom Everson, and has been with that family and with that company for years and years. And he has seen a change in the tide of how business is being done. And he's seen that the economy, the way things are being valued, corporate greed is changing, and it's changing very dramatically, and more so in this time frame than ever before in his lifetime. And he's helping and hoping to navigate these waters as peacefully and as seamlessly as possible, but therein lies a lot of the conflict and the obstacles in his path to try to do that.
So this is a piece that was first produced in 2016 about events that happened on Wall Street and in the banking industry in the 1980s. So how does this play to a 2019 audience?
Having lived through the 1980s and the housing market crash and the technology bubble crash, and now we're in a state where we're taking a look at the average student leaving college with $120,000 worth of debt and getting a job, not because it's going to fill their soul, not that it's going to give them a sense of purpose and well-being, but they're looking for a job that they're going to be able to generate enough revenue to pay off the debt that they've accumulated to get where they're at in the first place. Whether it be in the 1980s or 2019, I think debt, creditors, greed, the idea of superficiality, whether it be political, whether it be that we're now seeing an era of hard politics where somebody isn't necessarily who they appear to be on the inside, but on a ledger or based on numbers or debt or how much they've been able to amass, that has now weighed in on how much we value that person. And I think that it's incredibly timely in 2019. I think it'll be incredibly timely in 2030 that we are now looking at an era of owing more money as an individual and as a nation than ever before in the history of mankind. And I think junk really kind of gets to the heart of that issue, and it shows us where it germinated from. It shows us where it began. And I think it's also a cautionary tale that unless we make significant changes, unless we change our focus towards money, towards the superficiality of what makes us who we are, that we're destined to repeat the same mistakes again and again.
In looking at your resume, you've performed in a lot of classical plays. And so I'm wondering what the challenges are of bringing a contemporary piece that focuses in or hones in on a very recent period of history. What are the challenges versus kind of the challenges of classical pieces? I think have their own set of challenges, but what are some of the challenges in bringing a contemporary piece like this to life?
The structure of the conflict doesn't change. We still have a massive conflict that is brought to life by characters that have a tremendous degree of complexity to them. So whether it was written 400 years ago or in the past decade really doesn't come into play as much as you think it would. Whether it's Hamlet trying to decide whether or not he should take his life or she should kill his stepfather or end a relationship that he's involved with, or a man's struggle to find who he is on the inside. What is his purpose in life? Is it to fulfill his father's legacy, whether it's to put stock into his own life and the value of what he's doing for his company. The themes, the morals, the ideas are timeless. So I do enjoy classical theater. I've been fortunate enough to do quite a bit of it, but really at the heart, the story is the same, and the character's arc and the trajectory and the conflicts and the obstacles that they're run into is timely for the period that it's set in. But ultimately, they are struggling with some of the same real life issues half a century later.